tools in real world case bookings. They used real MCPs, and the highest target or like goal achievement they were able to do was close to just 30%.
Because I mean, you can always like get it in like the cheaper way than just like use like the English language. You can set it, change in the settings. So
Yeah,
kind of
I mean,
curious.
I've seen memes where people are saying as soon as the ChatGPT subscription drops, me looking towards my VPN.
Ah, great, doing great.
Yeah,
Hi, Carl.
doing good. Yeah.
So this has been a very, very new, week in the air. Like, okay, so first of all, like the most interesting thing I found out was regarding the Salesforce research paper that they released. Did you guys have a time to check it out?
No, I briefly heard about it, but give us the juicy details, Lavneet.
Yeah, so like the thing is that they tested all the models, all major leading models, and they found out that using these MCP tools in real world case scenario, like actually making an itinerary for a trip and making the bookings, they used real MCPs, and the highest target or like goal achievement they were able to do was close to just 30%.
Wow. There's a lot of hype around agentic AI, right?
Yeah, but this actually shows that we have that benchmark IEF instructions following benchmark. I'm not sure. Is that somehow like related to MCPs, or do you think that is like totally different from
You know,
MCPs?
uh, forget about this particular bench. I'm generally saying benchmark, right? It's like losing faith now on benchmarks because every single model that is being built now is sort of like built for the benchmark, if you will. So a
Hmm.
particular thing, if it works and a high course scores high on a benchmark, there is no guarantee. And that there you go, the use case scenario you gave now with Salesforce
Yeah,
research.
I have myself noticed when I was using Notion MCP
Hmm.
and I think Claude together, even with Cursor, I think the issue was that it was not able to do the task that well, and the amount of tokens it used, I actually reached my limit by
Of
just
what
using the MCP.
in Claude?
Yeah, in just one session, in just one chat session.
I mean, what seems to be the problem? Is the problem identifying MCP tool, or is it a problem executing MCP tool? Where does the problem seem to be?
I have not like seen that in that much detail, but at the end of the conclusion, they are saying that there needs to be a lot of work done in both the segments, in like model development as well as the tool standardization, so
Oh,
that the efficiency can be increased.
I
But
see. I
but I
see.
think that's a very general take, like that both parts need to improve, right?
I'm going to bring in another angle here, right? So, we all are aware of the Bedrock agent core that got introduced, right? Part of that, they have something called gateway component to that, agent core. And one of the features there is tool search, right? So it's like, and it's not a simple text-based search. There is a smart, like, agentic kind of search with vectors and everything that is supposed to pick the tools of interest, right? I'm wondering whether frameworks like that would help alleviate some of these problems, being more efficient and trying to filter down only what is needed. Because one of the problems, Lavneet and Karthik, is if you have many tools you give to a model, there is a problem because the model tends to get confused, right? The more sharper you are on the number of MCPs you may need for that particular task, the better, based on researches that I have read, the better the outcome would be.
I mean, I've also seen that best practice is to like, ground the model as much as you can, you know, giving it as just the right amount of context, just the tool that needs to be done. So the deterministic, behavior can be something that we can achieve from that.
Or the other way is they talk about the term agency, right? Instead of blindly throwing everything at it and saying you are a smart guy, you just figure it out, right? It's not working, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
sounds like you got to be little. The agency it has is a lot more control than broader right now, and that's exactly what you are saying as well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, So like what do you think that? I think that this means that the agentic future that everyone was like saying that okay, yeah, this will be this year. What do you think about that?
I don't, I mean, the concept of agentic itself is very, concept is cool, right? But the practicality, I'm sure there's going to be more work done on the model side, as I said, the smart way of retrieving the necessary tools and giving it on the fly to make it better.
Have you seen how Google's Gemini model can actually do the search calling in its reasoning?
Google search, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it can call the search.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking that, now that open source models are present there, right? Like so intelligent open source models are there. Maybe now is the time that instead of just, depending on these big companies to make something that is very, very generally available, this is a time where people can actually, train model a bit. What do you think about that in regarding the tool thing? I think that
Possible,
might be,
possible, like, because that was one of the benefits touted for the open source models, right? A lot of eyes
yeah,
can take a
yeah,
look at it, and innovation will come out of this. And how about those Chinese models that are floating out there? Did they ever try that one in
yeah.
research? Do you know? DeepSeek.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, but I,
I think
I,
so.
I think that I actually checked, but the outputs of DeepSeek in instruction following benchmark at least is not that good.
Got it.
Yeah, I think they were working on like some sort of agentic AI with DeepSeek. I remember seeing an article a little bit ago on
Hmm.
that, on how DeepSeek was integrating like agentic AI, slowly starting to do it.
I see. I mean, to answer your question, Lavneet, I'm thinking definitely, with the open source, aspect of it, there is going to be innovations that will come out of it. But we're still in the preliminary stages. This gives a clear indication that none of the serious customers, like if you're talking to a bank or an insurance company or something like that, they are not anywhere close to implementing agentic flows. It's just still a fun tool, fun thing to do. Coding is started as a one big use case for agents, right? Doing different things, and that seemed to cotton up on popularity, but other ones, will have to lag, I think. But I don't think it's going anywhere. It's going to improve. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I also think the same. I mean, I think the amount of resources like the world is throwing into this development, I think it will go somewhere.
Exactly. Cool. Cool.
And I mean, some new models were released by, I think, open source models from China. And
What do they have going? What is the famous? What is the big
so,
news?
I mean, the big whale is DeepSeek. Like, DeepSeek released version 3.1, reasoning and non-reasoning, I think open weights model,
Hmm.
and the performance is very, very good. The
Wow.
reasoning model is actually
When you say
better than,
performance, it is the latency, accuracy, or both.
no, in terms of intelligence, I mean, I used artificial intelligence benchmarking and their intelligence index. It's now rating DeepSeek version 3.1 better than Claude for Sonnet.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, it's very big.
Yeah. And the pricing is like $0.5 input and $2
Whew.
output.
Which is
Pricing.
crazy, right? Which
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
crazy difference between cloud and this thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think the fact that this is from China is going to hold it back. There is some connotation to that one, right?
Yeah.
So serious
But
customers are not
but
going to use it.
but I think like how how many of the major cloud providers actually they took their time, but they actually built the whole R1 and then DeepSeek into their own platforms.
Mhm.
So
They
that
did.
might
They
be
did.
the
There was a lot of hype around it. They did, but it'll be interesting to see the statistics of, okay, in spite of them
oh
having it, how many are actually using. I can tell you, all public sector customers will never use it. Period. Right. So any other serious business customers will never use it. But of course, startups who are really cost driven and want to cost optimize this stuff, they will use it. Right. And
mhm.
things in companies like Perplexity, where you don't know what's
Yeah.
behind the scene, but they may be optimizing the nth degree of this stuff and still use it, right? So there are some use cases for it, but unfortunately, I don't think it'll be adopted as wide as like the cloud models, just for that one reason.
Yeah, that is a thing for sure.
Yeah, but people can learn because these are all open source. Once they can open the black box, open up. This is not really a black box. You open it up and look at everything and see how to improve on the current models from here. That there can be some learnings, right? That always happens.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, so actually earlier I looked at an article on Particle News, which is like this AI news app that congregates all the news articles and like shows you the different sides of a story, that sort of thing. And we talk about, I think we talked about it a while ago, but on there I saw a story about ChatGPT Go, a new plan released exclusive to just India alone. Like their one market, just the exclusive release. But it's like 399 rupees alone for like the ChatGPT plus, I think, and then it's just a little bit more for Pro, but and then they also increased the usage limit. So like it's not capped at like the amount that it is for the American version. So I thought that was interesting because that's only a couple dollars for what's like essentially they're charging $20 a month for here.
Yeah,
So that
but
was interesting to
people
see.
can afford it here, so they charge that much. In India, people cannot afford $20. A normal person cannot afford $20, so they are going with that price point there. But the volume,
Yeah,
the sheer volume is going to be huge, right?
yeah, yeah. I think because like I'm not sure if China is a big market for OpenAI, but I think India might be one of the biggest markets for
I,
OpenAI.
I think so, and that is why they are pricing it at that level where people can afford it for the value it can
Yeah, yeah,
provide, right?
yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
you
I
wonder
think
though, if
that.
it's cheaper to subscribe to ChatGPT Plus through like a VPN and going and like subscribing it in India, or would it be just more cheaper just to go straight away and buy like the in America with like your regular internet? I kind of wonder what
Yeah,
the difference between doing both, because I mean, you can always like get it in like the cheaper way, than just like use like the English language. You can set it, change in the settings. So
yeah.
kind of
I mean,
curious.
I've seen memes where people are saying as soon as the ChatGPT subscription drops, me looking towards my VPN with like Google is like, okay, now I'm gonna buy it from there.
Karthik has been into this cost optimization lightly, right? And I know Karthik, you and I discussed about the Chinese thing that we talked about, right? That was like I think is an awesome way. Chinese characters. Maybe you want to give your
Yeah,
insights on how
right,
to save
right.
money.
That reminds me. So before I'd taken a curiosity to like the how tokens are calculated in English versus other languages. And English is one of those languages where one word takes up just a little bit more than one token because the length of
Oh,
each word and the complexity, like it takes up a little, like 0.5 more than a token. But in like Chinese simplified or traditional, it each character can resemble a full word and it counts as exactly one token. So if
oh,
you want to
I never
optimize
thought about
something, you
that.
should want it to write in Chinese rather than English. I mean, you can probably write an English
I
version
mean,
if you want
Japanese also.
copies.
So Karthik is dealing with. He converted everything to Chinese to deal with the LLM level, and then converts it over to English later. So there's more efficiency in the way LLM. I thought
That
that
would
was
be,
brilliant, right?
that's
I
I
think
have the theory that
Yeah.
it's more efficient if it's in Chinese because it's able to process it with less tokens, less input tokens, which would make it a little, just a little. I mean, certain words are you can only spell it in like English, so it's forced to do it in English. But for the majority, at least, it cuts down on the amount of tokens that you need for it. So that's what my ideology was with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that is like a very good perspective. I never thought about that in
if
that sense.
if you look right, the LLMs doesn't care about language, right? Because it's like he needs to understand the semantics as far as it's in some digestible form, it's going to work, right? And we are trying to figure out what is the most efficient way to make that work. Doesn't whatever
Yeah,
language it is, doesn't matter, right? That's like where I'm more faster, more cheaper, and then I get back whatever
yeah.
I want later. Great.
I actually, guys, I actually thought like I actually saw somewhere this that like we all were thinking that the price of like running the LLMs and like getting responses is going down with time, right? Because the cost per like million token is going down. But what is happening is that these companies are producing more tokens now than ever.
Correct.
With the thinking, like, all the thinking going on all the evening.
But isn't there like I forget the term where they say when things get cheaper, people use more and more, like people
Yeah,
tend
yeah,
to use more of it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, that is totally true. But the thing is, because people, when were people thinking about this, price going down, no one was thinking about the thinking tokens at that point, right? because we are the ones who actually have to pay for the thinking tokens
Correct.
also,
Correct.
right?
That's why it says sometimes in GPT, right? Skip. If you skip, it
Mhm.
stops the thinking, right? That
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
some control over it, but you're right. We do have to pay for the thinking tokens.
yeah. And like the thing is, on artificial analysis, I saw that they have like a special index how much it costed them to run the whole test.
Hmm.
The results vary a lot. Grok 4, I think price is not that much higher, but that is the most expensive model to run
Hmm.
because like the amount of tokens it generates is so much more than the cost per million token.
I see. So was that a cost for the provider or for the customer? Is it transferred to the customer as well?
Customer, because artificial analysis is paying itself for running all this test,
Got
so
it.
it have to pay this
So the
much.
provider is not eating that cost in this Grok
No,
case.
no, no.
It's just given to the customer, right? Saying, hey, this is how much
Yeah, yeah.
this is for thinking, right?
So if developers are building apps with this, they are the ones who have to pay for this, and they have to even think like, because in the APIs there is that how much thinking you want in some APIs.
Right. And you can set a budget too, thinking.
Yeah,
That is the precise reason I think why they have that control. Right.
yeah,
Like it's a smart, we have to be very careful about cost when it comes to LLM because we keep running it millions of times. You don't want to look at your bill, right? Later it'll be so bad, right? So you got to
yeah.
be careful about that. And even now, I think recently we had an API in Bedrock that calculates the input tokens automatically. They just released it like last week or
Oh,
something. Before even you ship it, right? You can check and see how many tokens are there from the input standpoint. And if you want to rework it, you can rework it to save on cost. So all these are adding up. Inferencing cost is like the cost, right? For most folks. So any efficiency you can bring in there for cost, so be it, right? So it's like really cool to have.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is another interesting one. What else is like? What else did you guys come across this week?
I think Quinn model family released its Quinn image editing model, which is again an open source model, but the control is like next level. Let me actually share my screen to show you guys.
Is this
Just
you're telling me is going to be the Adobe killer? The way you sounded
kind
like.
of. I think like it is like, how people are like, it's like the learning curve is so huge, right?
Yeah.
We all know that. But see this, guys. Let me actually
Let's see.
share my screen. Okay, are you guys able to see the screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can see
See
it.
this. Image editing in text. See this.
Hmm. Change the text on the go from health insurance to financial. Oh, so
Health insurance to financial. Let me
so it's
see
pretty
this.
much it didn't affect any of
Health
these other
insurance.
things, right?
Yes. Like
Ah,
the amount of like precision here is next level.
okay. And any this is Chinese, obviously, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Change World Health
English
Insurance.
and see this one. Image editing in text.
The word.
Turn the page.
Oh wow! It's like you're editing the image itself. Like
N.
text.
Yes, see this. It fixed that. Like TUR space N,
Hey,
TUR N.
we all have been playing with images for a while now. The toughest part in dealing with an image is text. It'll go
Yes.
all over the place, right? Now it looks like they got that kind of ironed out, right?
Yes, and not just that. See this. Image editing in virtual try-on. Change the clothes of a person.
Okay. Ah, wow. Okay. And okay. All right. Okay.
See this. Image editing in background.
The background.
Same person, nothing else changed, just the background.
Uh,
And this is another test, which is like, see this. This is image input. Change color of N to blue. N was orange here, and N is blue here.
like in a bag of words, it's able to
Yes,
identify n separately and only deal
yes,
with that and leave everything else intact.
yes. Nothing else is changed.
Wow.
See this one. This is like the most insane example ever. This is
So,
input image with the hair. Okay.
Uh,
And this is output image without the hair. Remove the strongest
wow.
hair.
Lavneet, is it regenerating the image or is it literally editing like the image to remove it?
I think it is recreating the image without that particular like part.
Interesting.
But I'm not like totally sure. I have to read this a lot. I just like saw this, so I was like super excited to like just share this right now.
And
But the
this
results are amazing.
this one is an open source model, obviously, right?
Fully open source, guys. It's like
So
fully open source
I'm
model.
sure it has the research paper and everything attached to
Yes,
it.
yes, yes. And see this image with object art. This is a normal image of the welcome to Penguin Beach.
Okay, these are like, this is what people use normally, right? Normal images,
Yeah, yeah. And
right?
like the amount of time people would spend just to
Ah,
make that vision true will now be decreased so much. See this. Any effect.
oh, take this guy real image and then convert it into avatars. The Ghibli,
Yeah,
similar to the Ghibli.
yeah.
Okay.
And guys, see this one.
Oh,
Views change the viewing angle. Zoom image, obtain
wow.
left side.
Wow, wow, wow.
Obtain right angle.
So learning.
Obtain
So what
back
I can
side.
do is I can take one picture, create different images of the picture, and create a video out of, like, I can make the dog like literally move and create a video out
Yeah,
of
I
that.
mean, I think so. I think that is now possible with this.
I mean,
And
technically I
see
can
this.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And like it can create an IP, like an avatar or something, and make it do all of these things. See this. The protector, the adventurer, the entertainer, anything. The amount of editing you can do in this is insane.
Guys, what I'm thinking is the softwares that are very hard to use today, and Adobe, I would consider as a software not that easy to use because you need some expertise in that area. Now, with this kind of models, right? It's going to resonate with the audience who want to manipulate but don't have Adobe expertise. They can still use
Yeah,
natural language and do all of this, isn't it?
yeah,
Creativity.
yeah. It's like, see, it can even change one letter of text to fit it somewhere.
Yeah. And this,
And guys, see this one. If Are you guys able to see my screen?
yeah, it's still
Yeah.
there.
Are you able to see this
Yeah,
replicate page?
yeah.
Yeah, so it is online on right now on replicate. 38,000 people have run it, and this is what it can do.
One image on
Change
rep.
the color.
Oh, the
So,
color
so,
change.
so this is right now available, fully free, and it's like you can use it for commercial purposes also.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
fully open weight and everything.
And it is what, 3 cents per output, like three.
Yeah, yeah. See this. I think $0.03
Hey, remember
per.
those other Flux models? We used to pay a
Yeah,
lot more. It was like
yeah,
one
yeah,
dollar 20 cents and all of that.
yeah.
Now it's come to 3 cents per output.
3 cents. It's like 33 images for
Three
$1.
images for $1. Come on. Wow. I would keep playing with this like forever.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's
I'm
like,
going to try it though. I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can put some hair on my head on this one for sure. You showed
yeah,
removing hair, but I'm going to try to put hair on it and see what happens in this one.
uh,
That's good. Thanks for bringing that to our attention though. That's pretty cool, man.
yeah. I mean, that's the most coolest model I've ever seen. Like from image editing perspective, like how much people do editing and do everything. It's
Yeah.
now can be done in natural language.
Cool.
That is like very powerful, I think. And
Going on in our world apart from all of this week? Anything else to discuss?
I think there was just one more thing about agents.md file. Did you guys know
I
about that?
I knew about it, but I think, was it Google that was playing? It was Google, right? Who came up
I'm not sure who came up with, but I've heard that all the major alliance, of all the
with
code
agent to agent
editing,
protocol, the A to A protocol.
not, it's like more of a file for agents to read when they are doing the editing.
Ah, okay.
So it's a file like instruction manual for them to follow when, they are making changes for you in the code.
So it's like you give
Like,
like, here is
yeah,
my wish, like here is what I want you to do,
yes,
and it
yes.
knows.
It's like customization, how you want your AI agent to behave.
Oh,
Like like my preferences when I'm building, I want it to first plan, tell me how it's gonna do. If I like it, then I say okay, do it. If I say I don't, that's my preference. So I can then now add that in the agents.md file. and it will follow that
Wow.
across all the editors.
Is that part of a standard? Do you know if it is part of
Yeah,
a
so that's what they are saying now. Instead, like before, what used to happen was in different IDEs, you needed to create different files or different things.
the steering
But
files and the
yeah, yeah,
job
yeah,
rule files and things like that's what.
yeah. Now they're saying uh, all of that can be done in one file, and that will be named as agents.md.
That makes perfect sense. Why do we
Yeah,
have three different IDEs and do three different things when your goal is the same?
yeah. This will, like, I think, help
Ah,
a lot.
super, super. It's actually a fun time to be a developer and the AI developer. I don't know what else to
Yeah,
say, right? It's a super fun time to deal with all of these cool tools in there. Cool.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So I guess then we will, look forward to more exciting news next week again. I'm sure every week is
Oh,
filled up with
definitely. Yeah.
excitement.
Pretty sure there'll be lots of stuff to talk about next week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
sure.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.